Hello and welcome back to Stranded Deep, welcome back to Pacific Paradise, and welcome back to this main menu we find ourselves on. Last time we were making ourselves an island in the cartographer. This time we need to test it, so what we are going to do is go back to the cartographer. And first things first, we're going to make a note of the map on the right hand side. Because we're on the PC version of the game, the Steam version of the game, we don't have a grid, we have higgledy-piggledy islands. We have 46 islands. These are these ones that turn into circles as we mouse over them. We also have these skulls. So we have the skulls that come up with question marks. Those are the boss monster tiles. There's 3 of those. And we also have the aircraft carrier. So we have, all in all, 50 island tiles. Now what we're going to do is find Dizzy's Redoubt. I'm going to click and we're going to drag that. So what we do is click the picture, click, hold and drag. And I'm going to drag it over this island. We're going to hit apply, and we hit back, and then play. And here we are back in the game, back in our world, back on the island that we came to at the end of, well, the last playthrough session. And on the horizon, well, does appear to be a bunch of anti-aircraft towers. So what we're going to do is just grab our raft. We could use the console commands and fly out there. I would normally do that, but I kind of want to see what it's like to just to drive a raft up to it, because the whole island, remember, is sunk below the waves. So I'll just put the anchor down so it doesn't drift as we get on board. Get on the motor. We've got plenty of fuel. Raise that up, and then let's go and see what it looks like as if we were just to go there normally. It's a little bit tricky because the raft has got a bunch of boxes in the way. But one of the things that could be interesting is if a deep water shark spawns, how far they would follow us in to this island, considering they shouldn't spawn anywhere near it, but technically there's nothing stopping them from just following us all the way to the little islet that we've built here. It's also interesting to note, I mean, these look like they're in deep water, but they definitely are not. So as we come up here, yeah, definitely rocks have started spawning in the shallow areas. And there's the striations, the deep water and the shallow water. Interesting. Okay. Shall we try and pull alongside the jetty? I think we've got enough turning radius to try that. Let's do this. And... oh, there we go. Close enough. Yippity hoppity bunk. Done. Right. Cool. Excellent. So we have a few things we need to look around and test. First of all, I'm going to just dump some stuff out of my inventory because I don't need it. Let's dump you out, dump you out, dump you out, dump you... oh, no, maybe we do need those two. Okay, cool. So we built a bunch of stuff. We put some things down. One of the things we put down was this, and we put this down on top of here. But as you can see, if I let go, yeah, it's got a bit of a hitbox. And that's one of the things we might need to fix when we go back into the map editor, because that was supposed to be standing upright and it's not. Okay. We now know it just falls onto the ground. That's not so much of an issue. We also want to check the size of this little island. Little island that we built. Now, it seems insignificant, but we built it for a purpose, and the purpose was for people to be able to build farms here. It does look big enough to build farms here. The other thing we need to do is check and make sure we can pick the fruit. That is definitely possible, so that's fine. We got the driftwood. Everything looking pretty good so far. What's that noise? Is it a crab? Yep, crab spawner. So crab is just there. Neat, that exists. Let's have a little look over here. Should be another fruit. Yes, more fruit. Not a problem. Some sticks and bits and pieces, although it's relatively clear of items. Oh, potatoes. Relatively clear of items. So you've got some driftwood that you can get sticks from. Otherwise, yeah, not too much going on. The star, the main attraction though, are these things. The anti-aircraft towers from the Thames estuary. Yeah. And one of the things that I hypothesized was that in the original early access version of the game, they did have a big yellow ladder going down. I did kind of wonder if it would do that, put the yellow ladder down, but nope. So having this having this bridge to allow people to go up and down is a necessity. The other thing I think is not going to happen, I don't think it's going to have any treasure inside, but let's see. We can climb the ladder, which is neat. Yeah, I think they're going to be devoid of treasure, so nothing in here, nothing in here. The doors are definitely going to open. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. We can go up, have a little look up here. But what it means is... Oh, hello. What it means is that we're going to have to put some treasure in here for people to find. Oh, wait. There is some treasure. Oh, okay. Neat. It's a little further up. Oh, some more flippers. Oh, okay. So that means we don't need to do as much as I thought we might need to do. That's kind of cool. And we can go all the way to the roof and have a little look around. Yeah, look at that. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. That is beautiful. Okay, let's have a little look over here. We've got a little crane system that's kind of fallen into disrepair. We got the little island itself. Doesn't look too bad from up here. We got the raft. And yeah, okay. Let's have a little look around. Pretty hoppity. I think if we were to fall down there, we would definitely shatter something important. But this definitely looks impressive. Certainly looks impressive. Okay, so this is one of the control towers. Let's go and see if we can get onto one of the flak towers. Now, one of the things they never did was to add the guns to these. Possibly because they don't or shouldn't exist in the Pacific. Oh yeah, the stripes. So we added striations to the actual island itself. So everything is sunk down below. So there's a line there, a line there, a line there, and a line there. And with deep water troughs, or semi-deep water troughs, they look pretty good. Yep, they definitely look pretty good. Okay, cool. Let's have a little look in here, see if there's any difference. Well, there is. And drop down. There's a big old hole through the middle. Wonderful. Let's see, 10 of rations. Yeah, so stuff does actually spawn in here. Neat. That's really good to know. Not a lot, but enough to make it... enough to make it worth exploring, certainly. Yeah. Even I've got a flare gun there. Neat. Alright. Cool. In fact, I might grab those rations. Grab those rations just to have. Where were they? They're on the shelf. So bear in mind we've not actually done anything to these. Let's just go outside and see if we can go to the next tower. Cool. This one's kind of closer to the deep water. It's nice that you can see the coral and everything from up here. So yeah, these do definitely look like they are meant to be here. Oh, oxygen tanks. Neat. Let's just drop down. Bonk. Well, we didn't break anything, but we did hurt something. How much damage did we take? A bit. A bit. Alright. Cool. I don't see anything swimming around, so I don't think anything followed us. We need to make sure that we can... Whoop. Climb up there. So it's push and hold spacebar. Same as climbing a coconut tree, even. So that's nice. I'm just going to have another look up here. Make sure everything is, in fact, exactly as it should be. So there's nothing... No nasty surprises. Ah, yeah, that's one of our wrecks down there. Cool. So no nasty surprises, as in there's no geometry that's missing, because these were removed from the main game. So the game itself, they kind of remove these things from them. The seagulls, it's nice to see the seagulls do actually spawn on this island. Now we could have had it so that these things were just as they were and just throwing them into deep water, but having the little island here kind of gives a reason for that bridge up to get in here in the first place. Otherwise, you'd never be able to get in. I think falling down there would be dangerous. Not lethal, but dangerous. Let's see, fishing spear. Oof. A fishing spear here. Okay, let's open this. And yes, you can just walk off the edge if you are a little bit just kind of not keeping your wits about you. Grab hold of that, so just push and hold space. And then open this. Is that... interesting. Not quite aligned. It's not terrible, though. It's not terrible. Yeah, it's fine. So we can get in here, and yeah, I think everything is as is. So these control ones are a little bit more... they have a few more rooms. Oh, I see the seagulls just ignore physics. Good. Excellent. Oh, someone's left the window open. Get a little bit of fresh breeze through here. Right, so I'm not seeing anything egregious. It's nice to know that things do spawn on tables. And a bucket. A bucket. Right, why don't we change the time of day? So I'm going to hit the / and type dev.time. Let's do 10. Dev.time 10. Dev.time 10. Try saying that 10 times in a row. Oh my gosh, are you stumbling over your words? Honestly, I'm not getting that much sleep at the moment. So making sense is definitely not something that I can guarantee. I'm going to go around the other side. I want to fall into the ocean, you see. So these two have ways around the outside. This one doesn't. That one doesn't. So you can only go front to back on these two. Interesting. Let's jump into the ocean. Sploosh. Done. A little backwards flip. Well, I wish we could flip, but yeah, we got the old play. Put the flippers on. Put the goggles on. The goggles allow us to see a little bit further underwater and allow us to. So yeah, everything looks like it's fine. Grab some air. Treasure. Pocket knife. This one's got everything. But you have to go swimming in to find it. I believe... Yep, there's another wreck out here. So we didn't add any rocks or anything to the ocean floor. We just put in... Oh, poison boy. We just put everything in and it didn't matter too much when you're putting a wreck underwater because the game is just going to put coral around it and it's also going to put a bunch of rocks around it. So the fun feeling of this particular island is even though there are a bunch of shipwrecks around the apron, you really do have to go swimming to explore them. Or taking your... Have we got a... Oh, they don't always render the flippers. I think this island is pretty much good to go. I don't think there's too much more that I'm looking at doing on it. Let's go back underwater. See if we can find some of the shipwrecks. There was one that didn't render for us, this one. And so we just put it in and left it. And like I said, it doesn't render in the map editor, but as soon as you've got it in, it's fine. And it is. It's absolutely fine. Ourselves a flare. Let's see. Can we check the time of day? Yeah, it's 11 o'clock in the afternoon. So these shallow bits... Yeah, we can't quite stand here. Let's see if we can find any bits that we can actually stand on. No. But it might be shallow enough to allow a player to build. That's the thing we might want to test. Okay, how do we do that? We don't have any building materials with us. Nor do we have any there. Oh, hello. That should be a little bit further out, I feel. Let's take off the flippers so we can actually run. Let's see if we've got any building materials. Nope. Sort of. Okay. Well, we don't have a bunch of stuff with us. I think what we'll do is we'll just drop on the ground. Drop you guys on the ground. Drop you on the ground. Because we're not going to keep any of that. I'm going to reset the world after this. So I'll grab you. I'll grab you. And then I'll just grab a couple of sticks from here. May as well, because we're testing the island. There we go. 1, 2. Okay, so... That's good. Wait a second. Enable build anywhere, disable build anywhere. Okay, just make sure that mod is actually disabled. Okay, So we can build above water. Yeah. So it does appear that if somebody wanted to come here and build their own version of like a SeaWorld or something, they can absolutely do it. Good. Is this area going to be too deep? Yes. So you have some areas where you can just build straight out from that island. Good. Yeah, no, this map could be, if you wanted to go to the trouble of bringing in a bunch of building material, this map could be quite an interesting one to live on. Certainly kind of unique. Cool. Why don't we just jump back into the map editor and finish this off? To finish this map off, we're going to go back to the cartographer once more. Find Dizzy's Redoubt and edit it. And here we are back in the map editor, and it looks so different. It looks so different. If we go underwater, boom, all of the coral, all of those rocks and everything that was down below, the fish, they're gone. There's nothing there. It's so strange to see it kind of like this, but once you know that the game is going to add everything underwater for you, well, you don't really need to mess around with stuff like that. There were a couple of things that were just a little bit not quite right. So this isn't quite right. I'm going to click on this and I'm just going to move it just a few pixels this way. Because I want this walkway to be sort of central. A couple more pixels, done. Done, that was it. That's literally it. Build terrain and objects so we don't have anything selected. If you want to know the controls, then watch the last video. Anyway, let's go underwater and have a little look. So this is moved, let's not move too egregiously. I think the other thing was the lantern, and there was this as well. So this needs to go forward a little bit. Let's move it forward a little bit, just so that the metal isn't poking out of the rock. It's a tiny little thing. But I'd rather have it super clean, super tidy, rather than have just little things like that left over. That's why we test the map. Also this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off those barrels. I'm going to put it down on the beach and I'm going to raise it up a little bit. There we go. So that it's still where it was, but it's now going to be on the sand rather than on these barrels to fall off as the player gets close. Because a physics object, as soon as the player gets anywhere near the island, physics objects will spawn and then they will fall under gravity. And then they will fall under gravity. Are you really that tired? Oh, you have no idea. I really want my bones to heal so that I can sleep properly again. Okay, the other thing we're going to do is go to items and we're going to go find... Well, we've got air tanks, arrows, barrel scraps, barrels, brick scrap, boy ball scrap. So many balls, you can barely wrap your mouth around them. Hang on a second, we need to find the lantern. There we go. Because one of the cool things that we can do, knowing that these places are... Can we get the camera in here? Is going to be tricky because... Well, it's going to be tricky because you're trying to put a camera in a room that really doesn't like... That really doesn't like the camera being near all these objects. As soon as we go outside, yeah, we shoot off. Scoot and shoot. Right, so what I'm going to do is put a lantern out here. There we go. It's nice that it actually comes out lit. I'm going to put it there and put it up a little bit so it's off the metal. There we go. Just a little bit, maybe a little bit more because it's going to fall vertically. There you go. Just so that as you come to this island, if you come here at night or if you're looking at it, because you need to be in the influence of the island in order to see the light. But if you are in the influence of the island and you do see that at night, you'll see that all lit up. It won't be lit up during the day, only at night. So you'll see that the fact there is a lantern over there. Ooh, creepy. It is, right? And also we'll do the same thing possibly over here as well. Can we get one in this window? That would be kind of neat. So do that, raise it up. Okay, cool. Terrain objects, so there's nothing selected. So there's a lantern here on this side and there's a lantern over there. That's the 2 additions that we've made. We've moved the jetty forward a little bit. That won't have any, well, we can move rocks if we wanted to. They won't have any effect on the rocks that we've placed here. Probably not that much. Put those there. Slide you forward a little bit. There you go. It's just a little tidier. Cool. And then we've moved this lantern here. So that seems to be all the changes that we need to do. Terrain objects, we've got nothing selected. Good. Excellent. It does feel weird leaving this whole island area bare though. So we could throw in a few extra bits and pieces. Let's see. We have... plank scrap. Well, we could throw some plank scrap down. Let's do that. Hit R to rotate. Rotate it on its axis just a little bit. Corrugated scrap. Yeah, maybe. There's going to be a bit of metal here. When I was describing this last time, when I was saying things like, well, you can smooth the beach as much as you want, but as soon as you come back, it'll be polygonal. Here we go. Polygonal sand. There's just a bug on the PC version. I don't know if it's on the console version as well. But there's nothing you can do about it. You can smooth the sand as much as you like, but it will not be smooth as soon as you set foot back on the island. Why? Dunno. Maybe a couple more rocks. Just, I mean, physics objects are physics objects. They're not too bad. If people want to clear the area, that's fine. And then maybe some cloth. Where is cloth? Over here. Does it still have the old... Let's see, where are we going to put it that's sort of neat? Maybe here. Does it have the old texture? No, it has the actual texture. Because if we hit R, I'm going to do it, just sort of lay it down so when it does fall, it falls flat. There is probably, yeah, the tarp panel. That doesn't have a texture because that got removed from the game. Why it's still in the map editor, I have no idea. No idea. No idea whatsoever. Okay, cool. So our Thames Estuary anti-aircraft towers are in existence. They've got a bit of light on them. We know that they generate treasure because we've seen it with our eyes. All of the shipwrecks and everything seem to be accessible and spawning. Sploosh, there's one there. There was one over here as well, at least in bubbles over here. What was that? Oh, that was this one over here. Oh, good luck finding that amongst the coral. But it's there. So yeah, we've put a bunch of stuff on the outside. And yes, it does feel like you are swimming through the ocean as you're going between the legs, but it doesn't feel dangerous. So it just does make it a fun little island for people to play on. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and edit this all together. And then what I'm going to do is upload this to the Steam Workshop. So by the time you see the video, Dizzy's Redoubt will be available to download on the Steam Workshop. But wait, there's more. Yep, I'll also put it in the Overdrive Theatre map pack so you can download all of the maps that we've made so far. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here. So if you like this video, definitely leave a little like. Leave a subscribe if you... I'm going to stop doing that. Leave a subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. If you want notifications, dingle the bingo. If you don't want notifications, don't click the bell, and I'll tell you what. I'll catch you next time.